Let's get right into the summer vibes with Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. From a visual standpoint, Jujutsu Kaisen starts out strong and has been keeping that standard for the first 5 episodes. But what really stood out to me was something that I didn't quite remember, and that is how fast-paced Jujutsu Kaisen is. Keep in mind I'm not a manga reader, so from the opening I was guessing that the first cour was going to be about Gojo's past. So I was shocked when right on episode 3 Riko died. She was featured in the opening. I thought she would last a bit longer. These guys got me again. Do you remember back in season 1 when they bamboozled the anime-onlys like myself by putting a guy in the opening that ended up dying and we all thought he was going to survive? Because anime openings just spoil the entire series, that's just the meta nowadays. Jujutsu Kaisen is brutal, and a lot of that brutality is emphasized by everything just moving so fast. It's fascinating to me, having watched anime for like 20 years or something now, and how anime, much like the entire entertainment medium, has gotten so much faster paced. There are people that like to compare the old shonen trio with the new shonen anime. For example, I've heard comparisons between Bleach and Jujutsu Kaisen, and while I can definitely see some inspiration and perhaps even some more closer similarities, there's no way the Zoomers of today would go through the slog that was the Bleach episodes. When I was younger, I really enjoyed the older style of shonen anime where fights would last forever and things would be very drawn out, namely One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, Inuyasha, where episodes would be super padded and nothing would happen at a time. Nowadays, not so much. But I think that Jujutsu Kaisen takes it way too much in the other direction. While every episode has definitely been exciting, I feel like things have been moving too fast for me to get truly attached to any of the characters. Comparing Jujutsu Kaisen with Jigokuraku, for example, Jigokuraku is still a new generation anime, but I was way more attached to the characters in that one because it felt like things had more time to breathe. Here, while Riko's death was shocking, it wasn't as impactful as it could have been because I just didn't have enough time with her as a viewer to truly care. Gojo's defeat and subsequent mental breakdown and transcendence was visually stunning and definitely memorable, but it also felt rushed. And it sucks that everything happened so quickly because this was a very good character moment for Gojo, and also I really liked Mean Daddy, he was a very cool villain. Gojo was defeated in episode 3, and by the end of episode 4 he had already turned Mean Daddy into Swiss cheese, which was definitely way faster of a revenge than I was expecting. Not everything needs a training arc, but come on, one episode really? I feel there was more juice to be squeezed here, which leads me to have mixed feelings about this season of Jujutsu Kaisen. On one hand, from a production standpoint, I think it's by far the best of the dark shonen trio. I love the way they play with colors, how vibrant and violent the fight scenes can be, and how they always set the mood perfectly, from the first scene in the haunted house to the depression scenes with Suguru. I love the sound design. For example, the sound effect of the cold clapping in episode 5 was used masterfully. But everything feels so fast that I barely have time to enjoy it. I just wish they slowed things down a little bit, even if it meant that we had a little bit less of production value at any given moment. I do have high expectations for the remainder of the season, as people like to say that one of the coolest arcs is coming, so I'm looking forward to it, and this is by no means a knock on Jujutsu Kaisen, as from a visual standpoint alone, to me this is a must-watch this season. I just haven't been able to really connect with any of the characters, and hopefully that changes.